I never owned a Sega Dreamcast. In fact, I only knew a couple of people that did. I do remember it being touted back in 1999 as a console with next-gen, groundbreaking graphics that would put all other platforms to shame. The sad reality was that the lack of a third-party support, coupled with Sony's announcement of the PlayStation 2, meant that it was doomed to become the final nail in the coffin for Sega as a console manufacturer. But there was one true treasure of a game that was released on this console that I have only really had the chance to play recently, and that game is Shenmue. I was first introduced to the series through picking up a second-hand copy of Shenmue 2 in Blockbuster Video for around £10 when it was released for Xbox in 2002, and ended up falling in love with the characteristics and feel of the game. So, when I finally got to play part 1 of the series on Xbox Game Pass, it kind of felt like I was playing a prequel, which gave me an added insight into Ryo's backstory. Shenmue was originally released in 1999 but set in the cold winter of 1986 in Yokosuka, Japan. Shenmue's story is about an 18-year-old man named Ryo Hazuki who on his birthday witnessed his father's murder at the mercy of a Chinese assassin named Lan Di.
Father! Stay back, Ryo. For the last time, where is the mirror? I've no intention of telling you. Hmm? Yeah! Father! Why you... Now then. No matter how often you ask, I'll never tell. No, don't! Hand over the mirror. Or else, your son. Wait! The mirror, it's buried under the cherry tree. Do you remember Chao Sun Ming? Chao? That's the name of the man you killed in Moon Swan. It can't be. You! Get up. I'll allow you to die like a warrior. Father!
This sets up the story of Ryo as he sets out to avenge his father's murder. However, you might find that your quest for revenge will be frowned upon by certain characters you meet in the game, especially from your live-in housekeeper, Ini-san. But regardless of the constant cry for not seeking revenge, you are still lucky enough to receive a modest amount of pocket money every day to go about your business around town. You can spend your money by buying food, to looking after a kitten, buy drinks from the scattered vending machines throughout the game, or spending that hard-earned, free cash at the local arcade, throwing darts, or playing some retro arcade classics such as Hang-On or Space Harrier. Shenmue's arcade is a true love letter to avid retro gamers of the era it is set in. Inside the arcade, you will also find games that help you train for those all-important quick-time events that you will encounter on your journey. And trust me, quick finger reflexes are needed for some of the tougher encounters later on in the game.
I'll give it a try.
Another way to spend money and time is to collect capsule toys from various locations in the game. These little bundles of joy will keep you pressing the buy another one button on numerous occasions, hoping in the vein you get those extra special gold or silver Doral toys from Virtua Fighter. I suppose the only disappointing area where you can't spend that money is on food, because to be honest, I just wanted to buy a hot dog from Tom, who was one of my favorite side characters in the game. If old retro arcade games are not your thing, then you could always spend your time wandering around and interacting with other things like a jukebox, or you could just spend your allowance on cassette tapes and play them in your room like true 80s kids. You can even buy cans of drink from vending machines and get the chance of grabbing a winning can, which you can exchange for a raffle ticket at the local tomato convenience store. Anyway, there are plenty of things to keep you sidetracked from the main story, including many hidden cutscenes at certain times in the game. This certainly helps with the replayability of the game, as no two playthroughs are entirely the same as you encounter different scenes and dialogue with every playthrough. The main part of the story sees Ryo following leads to track down his father's killer, Lan Di, who is after a couple of magical mirrors, the Dragon and Phoenix, that turn out to be keys when formed together and will open up a map of treasures, something which your father was trying to protect.
Excuse me.
Oh, Ryo.
Is this a good time?
What's on your mind?
I want to show you something.
What is it?
This.
What an unusual stone mirror.
Apparently, it is called the Phoenix Mirror.
I see. There is a phoenix carved into it.
Is there anything special about this mirror?
Well, the phoenix is a sacred bird of legend. But this has an ominous feel.
Ominous?
In China, there are many treasures that contain both good and bad fortune. This is called the secret of yin and yang.
The secret of yin and yang?
You'd best be careful. This may have something to do with your father's unfortunate death.
What a marvelous stone phoenix mirror. Stone mirrors were produced in China during ancient times. This is an exceptional piece.
Is there anything unusual about this one?
Indeed there is. I think perhaps this type of precious stone is only found in the Guilin region.
Precious stone?
According to a book I once read long ago, an emperor ordered a sculptor from Guilin to engrave a guardian onto a stone mirror.
Guardian?
The phoenix on this mirror is a guardian.
You will find yourself asking everyone the same question until you find the answer you need. One of the main objectives is to find out where the sailors hang out. This has become a long-standing joke within the Shenmue community, and has been the focal point of countless memes to boot. Ryo begins the search with his usual look of seriousness about him, as he runs through the backstreet bars and alleys, at night, looking for where the sailors hang out. That being said, the game can turn in different ways every time you play it, like stumbling on a location or a character which would lead you down a different path to grab the information you require. At one time in my playthrough, a character I had come to depend on was a resident of an apartment right where I needed to be. Just by luck, I caught him as he was going home from his daily chores. The essence of time plays an important role in Shenmue. For every hour of a game play, a new day will pass. The dates in the game are all historically accurate for 1986. For every day that passes, you'll encounter a new thing to do. Certain people's reactions will change depending on the time of day or weather. You will also stumble across the odd cutscene, which can open a side quest of sort. This could be trying to help an old lady finding a friend's house or buying a homeless man a can of soda from a vending machine. There is so much going on in Shenmue that I doubt you will encounter everything available in a single playthrough. You have a journal that is accessible by a click of a button, and it will jot down every bit of important information you find along the way, which you will require to progress. Every now and then, Ryo will run into some characters that might not want him getting involved in their business. Yes, the characters can come across as very rude, but some of these moments can trigger a quick-time event, which will showcase those incredible reflexes you've learnt from the arcade. And then you'll run into characters who play an important role in your story, like the lovable Nozomi, Goro, and Tom. There are also fights that you'll encounter along the way that will require using real-time moves. Some of these moves you'll have at your disposal from the start of the game, but others you will find in various scrolls or by certain characters you meet in the game. Make sure to train in either the Hazuki Dojo or parking lot in the Dobu-Ita street, as there is one moment in the game where you're faced with an almighty 70-man battle.
All power, no focus! You'll get surrounded!
There are moments where you'll need to find work and earn money to make certain goals in the story's development. This comes in the format of driving a forklift truck every day once you find your way to the harbor. The fun part of this is the forklift race you'll have every morning before you start work. During work hours, you will need to move numerous crates from one warehouse to another. These will change with every passing day, so no forklift run is ever the same. During lunch breaks, you'll either encounter free battles, or you'll have free reign in trying to find clues to progress the story further. Again, there are some different cutscenes and side quests you can find along the way, so there is plenty to keep you going. In Shenmue, game designer Yu Suzuki created a genre-defining masterpiece whose immersive gameplay set the bar for open-world games. Yet, despite being the most expensive video game ever produced, the sales figures never quite matched the project's ambition. As an exclusive title on a Dune platform, it never really stood a chance. By the time it was finally ported onto the Xbox, Grand Theft Auto 3 was already a worldwide phenomenon on PS2, a platform that outsold the Dreamcast by 17 to 1. You have to wonder, what if Shenmue had launched on the PS2? Regardless of these factors, Shenmue is rightly regarded as a classic, and the series has gained a cult following of respected gamers who are true warriors in their own rights. I give Shenmue a 9.5 out of 10.